Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities. We are your USA team. I am so excited to be sharing so many wonderful people with you this evening. I'm going to go ahead and set us up on a happy trail. We are, many of us, connected with the Happy Neighborhood Project. And so, in Happy Neighborhood fashion, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Kurt Roscoff as our first friend on a happy trail. And we're going to pass the trail right along. So, Kurt, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Sue. This is quite a happy episode here, bringing in happiness like we've never done yet. And we're going to keep building on this happiness with the TDC Today Community Show. So, what I want to do here with all of our guests and our team here from the Happy Neighborhood Project is let's pick a little bit as we talk to share with our audience out there where we're from, to think in terms of community. And we can even have our organizations and companies be a community. But we're thinking here at TDC with location, geographic location, and USA, North America, Western Hemisphere, Mother Earth, Milky Way galaxy. We can kind of roll it in there, but let's build up this community realm by stating where we are. And Sue and I are here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA, North America, planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy. And we're here to be a part of this inclusive media production. So I'm going to go ahead and get to including Patricia Smith. We enjoy co-hosting with her every Wednesday at 2 Eastern with H&P B2B, a great opportunity to, really dig into how our business helps another business. And today I had somebody comment like, Kurt, you got somewhat of a voice for radio. So I'm going to let Patricia take the baton on that one. I don't know. We can let everybody decide for themselves. But Patricia, what are you doing with voice? You're a voice professional. Let's see what you
I
can do.
I am a professional, Kurt. Thank you as I stutter through that intro. I'm delighted to be with you today. Everybody has different abilities. It's been my joy to be the communicator for my employers. And so it is my job to pay attention to what the big message is and bring it down to whatever audience I'm talking to. Could be an elected official, could be the board of directors, could be the community group, could be elected officials, anybody who needs to know the story. That was my job to bring it to them. And now in retirement, I'm using this ability to be a voice talent so I can read other people's scripts and get their message out to where it needs to go. But I'm just so full of happiness with being with this group because you're professionals and you care about what you do and you want to share all the opportunities you can find out there. So thanks for having me here tonight. And I have
So,
learned so much from another woman who's with us tonight. Her name is Emily Golmer, and she has to know how to be a podcast producer. That is a foreign land for me. And so I'm delighted to see Emily tonight, and she can tell us all about how she does her work.
all right, before we pass it on, Patricia, what locality, geographic location you want to identify with today?
See, you got me discombobulated there, Mr. Kirk. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I have been here over 50 years. It is called Music City and now Bachelorette Tour Group City. We have so many of these young ladies who are so excited about the next stage of their lives. So Nashville has many hats it wears now, but most importantly, it's where my family lives. So that's why Nashville is so important to me.
All right, appreciate that. That's a great place to go visit. But Emily, your turn. Over to you on the happy trail.
So, thank you everybody for joining us today. I am a virtual assistant, podcast assistant, scheduler here in the Madison, Wisconsin area, and would love to have everybody join us on any of our shows, whether it's this one or any of the other ones, and to any of all of our events that we have coming up in the next few months. And so just since we're connected with the disability channel right now, in a number of months here, it's going to be coming up with the Invictus Games, and which is kind of a big deal since the disability channel is going to be the media people for that big event. So here's everybody tuned for that, and great to check out this video channel for all the great things they do for people with disabilities and veterans, and so on. And speaking of veterans, we have one of them in our midst today, who's also our master connector, as we officially call him, and we're helping him do a Mastery of Connection show Wednesday mornings. So I'm bringing Alan out of sunny California. So welcome, Alan.
All right, real quick. I need some help. Did I miss it? Did you state your locality or your
Yes,
geograph? You
yes,
did?
out of Madison, Wisconsin area.
Okay, I missed it. All right, Alan, take it away, sir. Master Connector.
Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is Alan Holmes zooming in, or the Disability Channel from sunny California, Inland Empire section. I'm on the way to various Rancho Cucamonga soon to be, but the community is the essence of business, and I am the Master Connector for bringing it to you. I love the Collaborate Connected Network. It is an honor and privilege to see the amazing and talented, the incomparable Patricia and Emily. Thank you so much for the world. I see over there in the corner, you'll be meeting them, Mr. Ralph and Matt. They'll be coming along because, as you know, that's what I do. Love the Collaborate Connected Network. As Gerd says, as a veteran, eradicating poverty, ending mental health stigma, and educating on mental health within the veterans and disability community is what I love doing. But it's an honor and privilege to be here today. I have the Massive Connection on Wednesdays. Master Connector is what I'm known for, but it is so great to be here. Thank you so much for being here, allowing me to be here today. And I see a friend of mine. You may know her, and if you don't, I'm gonna bring her to the stage. There is a beautiful, ingenious Debbie Miller is in the house. Debbie, welcome to the show.
Before we do that, just real quick, did I miss it, Alan? Did you say your location community?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. Debbie, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I am calling in from Kansas City, Missouri, the home of the Chiefs Kingdom, and we are excited to listen to our Chiefs play each week and cheer them on from all parts of the world, actually. But anyway, I'm with Prepaid Legal Services, Inc., which is a great way to protect all of our families and help all of them know what their rights are and keep their rights available and protected by simply having a law firm basically in the palm of their hand. With our app you can actually be calling and speaking to an attorney within minutes in an emergency. Otherwise, you can call them Monday through Friday, just like any other business, but having that ability at $1 a day instead of crazy hourly prices is what we're here to do. And I'd love to help families be able to have their wills written and keep them all covered so they have a roadmap instead of a scavenger hunt. Thank you. And Sue, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie. So our next person that we're going to go ahead and bring in this evening, speaking of locations, he's got some stories about what's going on location-wise and what he's all up to. Ralph Brown is joining us this evening, and I'm excited to have him share his story and what he's all up Sue. So Ralph, why don't you come on in and join us? How you doing tonight?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm from sunny Florida, home of the hurricanes. I mean, we're about to get swamped, okay? But I live in the very north end of Tampa Bay, and just the very north end of it. And so we have a big tree across the street from us that's dead. And I've been calling the power company and saying, come out and cut it down because it's going to fall during the hurricane and take out our electricity. But they say they won't fix it. Now, the truth is, they won't cut it down, not their problem. But when it falls, it'll be their problem. But I had a beautiful Florida palm tree in my yard that was hanging up over the power lines. And they came by about 9 or 10 times asking, can we cut it down? Can we cut it down? Can we cut it down? So finally we agreed they could cut it down. But they won't cut the pine tree, the dead pine tree down. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. But I'm putting together the first annual power boat race all the way around the world. That's never happened in the history of mankind. And say, why not? Because power boats suck fuel. I mean, I told everybody here a little earlier, but just how horrible they are. But some of y'all weren't here. So let me tell you, if you were to get your car and go down the highway with an internal combustion engine at 70 miles an hour, your car's got about 300-mile range, and you're going to get between 20 and 30 miles to the gallon. But you get a boat that can go 70 miles an hour. Most cannot. But if you get one that'll do 70 miles an hour and with a 300-mile range, now you're down to about 99% are gone. Okay, but you're not getting 20 to 30 miles to the gallon. You're getting 2 or 3 gallons to the mile. It's absolutely horrendous. And so what we're doing now is we're creating the first ever powerboat race around the world. Our course is 62,000 miles. So to give you a comprehension of that, it's basically 2.5 times around the world. Okay, or to look at this, 1/4 of the distance to the moon. Okay, it's the longest race in the history of mankind on this planet. So I'm just excited about it, and just all kinds of new ideas, massive competition, okay, pooled knowledge, and a referee, of course. We're going to have teams from 50 different countries competing to be the most efficient, most maneuverable, most reliable boats ever built. And you're going to have great new ideas come out, and you're going to see a revolutionary change and some things that are good just in the shipping industry. And so, because I could talk for the next 15 hours, and I wouldn't get tired talking about what I'm just so excited about what we're doing. Again, the first ever powerboat race around the world. And yes, Kurt, I did say Tampa Bay, Florida. You didn't miss it. Okay, I'm gonna let Emily introduce the next person.
There you go,
Yeah, so
Emily.
our next person is also out of California, like Alan, who has a networking group called VEETS. So, Matt, what is VEETS for anybody who doesn't know?
Sure thing. Well, I just want to first say, well, thank you for the intro, and want to say I appreciate Ralph's energy. I wish I had that amount of energy for anything like Ralph has for the boat race. It's amazing. But VEETS, I run a networking organization not too dissimilar from HNP in structure, and that's what VEETS is. VEETS, a lot of people ask, what does that mean? Virtual meetings or virtual meets, putting it into one word. And so we meet online. We have a few calls throughout the week, and we bring together a lot of small business owners to build relationships and support each other. And it's a lot of fun.
Excellent. So, Matt, I want you to use Ralph as an example. If Ralph attended VEETS, what would his experience be?
Well, Ralph would bring his enthusiasm, and people would appreciate that enthusiasm. And he has a lot of knowledge. And so one characteristic of what we hope to bring, what type of members we hope to bring is curious members. So he can expect to get a lot of questions about his project and his if it's a business or an organization, how does it work? When's it going to happen? How can I support it? I know somebody that might be able to help you. a lot of things like that, because our whole community is focused around that support. We're hoping to find out more about you and support you in some way. And so we would learn a lot about Ralph and probably set up a one-to-one and learn more and go from there. But that's part of the experience is building.
Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me up.
All right.
Love to have you come check it out.
So, Patricia, with the work that you do and helping people, get out there and, share what they provide, here we have in the midst of this episode, a history making milestone in the making, first ever, speedboat race, that Ralph is bringing to us. Patricia, help us dig into this a little bit. Let's get Ralph interacting here and let's get a couple minutes. What do you think, Patricia, we need to do before we end here today to understand the power behind the speedboat racing?
I heard Ralph say he expects to have one team per country. So what is your communication medium? Are you going through the fuel industry to share this information? Are you going through the United Nations? Are you going to use the website for the America's Cup? How are you going to communicate? So I'm curious about that. That is going to be fascinating. And I do admire how you are couching it as a competition to bring down the cost of shipping. That is tremendous. Yes, it's going to be crazy fun for all the testosterone pumped people who like to go fast. That's going to be cool. And you're going to have logos and you're going to have themes and you're going to have fancy clothes. But yes, tell us how you're going to communicate with all the different countries. Maybe not Liechtenstein, you think?
Hey, if they sign up, if they're one of the first 50 countries, they're in. If they're the 51st, they're out. It's kind of like an NFL team. There's 32 NFL teams. There are 50 states in the United States of America. The state of Florida has 3 NFL teams. They've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, which are really mad. They got slaughtered a couple days ago. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who beat the pants off of the Nationals, the Washington Nationals, and barely squeaked by Detroit Lions, got clobbered by the Broncos. I mean, we got clobbered. And then we also have the Miami, which at one time went 16-0. I think the only NFL team ever to go 16-0. So we got 3. But how many NFL teams does Alabama have? None.
0.
None. 0. So it's kind of like if you got to buy in early to get in a team. And then if you don't get one, you got to try to talk another country into selling you theirs. But
what's our timeline, Ralph? When's this race going to happen?
We're about 18 months out. Okay.
Seriously. Okay.
Seriously. Now,
So
what happens is 6 months from now, approximately, we will be breaking the world speed record for circumnavigation. And again, I already hold 4 world records in extreme power boating. And so I'm going after number 5. And number 5 is the fastest boat in the history of mankind to go around the world. The current world record for a power boat is 61 days, which that sounds like, wow. I mean, a lot of people went after it and failed. The first one to do it was the United States Navy. They did it in a nuclear submarine. They did it in 80 days, and they were doggone proud of that 80 days. Okay, now they've pumped them up as far as that goes. But the 61-day record. When I tell you my goal, I can give you all the numbers and write down the list. But we expect to do it in 37 days, and which is like people go. I see that look on your face, Sue. Okay, like, huh? 61. Hey, again, each of my world records, I had to listen to hundreds of people who didn't do the testing I did, didn't do the research I did, but knew more than I did. Okay, because they didn't do the research, they didn't do any testing, and they automatically know that what you're doing can't be done because no one else has ever done it in the history of mankind. So of course it can't be done. Well, we have some technology that we've already done the research, we've done the planning. Okay, if we hit the weather right, we'll do it in 37 days. If we hit the weather wrong, we'll still beat the 61-day record. Now, I also found out that I've been interviewed by about 150 television, newspaper, magazines around the world, which the coolest one to me is Chinese Yacht Magazine. You've got more people coming on this show, and they're going to run out of time because I'm talking too much. But the coolest one is Chinese Yacht Magazine. They did a four-page article on us. I've never been to China. It's got one paragraph in English, and the rest of it's all written in this, Chinese hieroglyphic type stuff. They could be saying this guy's the biggest idiot on the planet. I wouldn't have known, but it's got my smiling picture in the middle of it. They got one in German. I don't read German either. Okay, I got a 4-page article in Das Boot, the German magazine on boating, and I don't read it either, but it's got my picture in it, so it's got to be cool. But anyways, you go on tour. You go city to city to city on tour, because all the newspapers, magazines could care less about your world records until you show up in their harbor with your world record boat. And when you show up in their harbor with their world record boat, they fall all over themselves wanting to get into interview you, get you on their live. They want an exclusive. Shh, don't let the other guy know. We're going to do an exclusive. Okay, you're going to tell them you're leaving at 5, but you're going to stay here till 6. Okay, because we want an exclusive with you. Okay, and that actually happened in a couple of places. St. John's in Canada was one of the places it happened. And so, anyways, but that kind of stuff. It's just fun, and you get that news out there. And so you've got the news media. The world of media right now is broken into 2 sections: the new media, which represents 51% of all media, and 49% the old media. Okay, that's traditional stuff. The difference, though, is the new media is extremely fractured. It's extremely fractured. It's very, very hard to get a big chunk of that to do anything, because it's just got so many different things, millions and millions and millions of outlets. But the old media, which represents 49% of the entire world's media, is not fractured. And if you can edge your way into that, they will carry your story to the new media, and the new media will pick it up. Okay, and Patricia, I hope that begins to answer your question. And I don't want to suck up everybody's time, so I'm going to stop talking right now.
Looking forward to seeing these boats float around.
There we go. Speaking of boats floating around, that's a great segment. We're going to bring in an emerging story that's already a decade in progress. 9 years ago, folks, I went to the world's largest water ski tournament, and I brought a gentleman with a disability to ski in a tournament, the Wisconsin State Show Ski Championships. I went there with the organizers to say, we're going to demonstrate adaptive water skiing, but oopsie me, I thought they were providing a boat. I was wrong, and I had to find a solution. I found a guy who was devoted for years at that time already, giving lessons to youth and growing a program that got to be known a little bit at this World Water Ski Championships. It's the now known, because I got with him and he did me a favor by providing a boat called the Pony Boat. There's quite a story behind it. And we took a gentleman with a disability water skiing on a sit ski, and then we were off to the races for what we've been experiencing the last 9 years. Rick Legis, my friend, would you come in here and tell a little bit more about the story behind the Lindsay Legis Free Water Skiing Club and the free and for fun FAF sessions?
Yeah, hi, Kurt. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, the cool part was that none of this stuff was my idea. My daughter had passed away in a car accident, unfortunately, in 12/12/06. And that same year, Joey Ventusca broke his neck. So it was a real rough year on the team, and they did a little article that spring about the team and the tragedies, and that we were going to ski with the team again. Well, then some woman named Coco Miller called me and asked me to teach her daughters how to water ski. And it gave us a reason to bring the boat to the lake without Lindsay, of course, so it gave us a reason to go to the lake, and we gave the lesson. And honestly, at first I did it reluctantly because, it was a bit much. But once I did that, I realized that it was pretty cool. It gave us a reason to bring the boat to the lake. So then from that point on, I was on a mission to teach as many people as I could in memory of Lindsay. And then I met you. And, you trained us and got us acclimated with adaptive. And what we didn't know at the time was that in order to do that little event at state, we had to form a water ski club so we could sanction our own little. It had to be a USA sanctioned boat to do this at the state tournament. So it kind of pushed us into forming the Lindsay Legis Free Water Skiing Club. and the rest is history. Then we just kind of went with that, and we found that adaptive became our main priority, and it's grown from there. It's just amazing how things, it just wasn't my idea, but all I had to do was say, okay, let's go with it, and it's been a real blessing.
Absolutely a true blessing. Rick, you're a true blessing. Your wife, Nisi, boy, we have had quite the stories. There's going to be more told here at this Your TDC Today Community Show. So we're going to wrap it up here for today, but we're just getting underway, folks. And I hope our guests here come back because we are building a future together like the world has never seen, like boat racing the world has never seen. We are jumping outside the box. We work with a gentleman by the name of Santa Papa John. He tells us we're looking outside the gift box. If you want to know how to rethink things, right here at the Disability Channel, television, by and with people with disabilities and veterans, and we're about inclusive media. So what we do here, folks, is for everybody, and that's the point. I call it building unbiased pathways. We did a happy trail right now, folks. We're on the trails to spread happiness all around the world, and we're grateful to be doing this with the Disability Channel. I'm Kurt Roskoff, and I'm ready to see you next time. Thanks for listening, folks. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
Tell us about the polar skiing.
Tell about what?
The polar bear skiing.
The polar bear skiing. Boy, Ralph down there in Florida, he likes to pick on Northerners here in Wisconsin. I say we're a suburb of Canada, and yeah, they do
have to go December 1st. I mean, January 1st.
January 1st. All right, folks. So there you go. We got a challenge here. TDC Communities Challenge. Let's see all these northern communities do the polar plunge January 1st, and contact me about it. My phone number, you can call and text me anytime, 262-372-1SKI. That's 262-372-1754. Email me as much as you want. Kurt@spiritofthegame.org. So again, there's your encore, but we're done for now. Tune in to the next episode. It just keeps getting better.
See you next.